Welcome to Allie's Attic, where you never know what kind of surprise you're going to find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and today my surprise is half of a duo that I play on Allie's Amplified Attic. I've been talking to them for over a year. I'm so excited. One of them is on my show because the other one couldn't make it. Please welcome Trisha Duffy from Duffy and Bird. Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. I'm so happy to be in the attic, virtually in the attic.
Virtually, yes, definitely. Now, Albert is the other half, and he couldn't make it today. But you guys, I love your music because I do play it on Allie's Amplified Attic. I'm so thankful that you sent me songs. Now, Trisha, tell me how this all came about, because I know you started off kind of like on a cruise ship. You were born in Oxford, England. And now you're living in London and you're married with 2 children. But tell me your journey, because holy, you've done a lot of things.
Well, both of us have done a lot of things. So my journey is that I was, I always sang, and I sang mainly sort of jazz standards, that type of thing, usually accompanied by piano when I was on the cruise ships particularly. And then later I did a lot of classical singing, mainly ensemble, choir type stuff, but also some musical theatre as well. I was in a musical a few years ago, run of Peter Pan in London. Mainly really as a sort of sideline hobby amongst kind of having a career and having kids and all that kind of thing. So that was kind of my sort of story up until about 3 years ago. And Al had been a child soprano. He was in the Welsh National Opera, and he was also, I won't get the facts right now, but he was also in the National Youth Choir for Wales as well, Youth Orchestra for Wales as well. He played the French horn and the violin and all sorts of instruments.
Wow.
So he is a really talented multi-instrumentalist, I should say. Plays the guitar, plays the bass, plays the piano, you basically give him an instrument, he can probably play it. So we were both, he had been in a few bands through the years as well. And so about 3 or so years ago, we met because we were both recruited to the same covers band, a rock covers band. So I was the lead singer, he was the lead guitarist. I was in it first. And that's how we met. And it must have been about 2.5 years ago now that we were asked just to do a one-off gig as a duo on the day we were playing a festival as the covers band. We were headlining, and he and I got asked, could we just fill a slot because someone had dropped out that day and do something, turn something around quickly. So we did it, and it was just the best fun. We had such a great time. So he says, let's do that again. Let's go and do another gig. And so we got on the pub circuit. We were doing covers, just covers at this stage. And then, so we did that maybe a year, I think. Not really regularly, but we were getting out once a month, maybe once every couple of months. Having a great time, building a massive repertoire of songs. We're always just adding something else. Should we do this? Should we do this? Should we do this? And one day I just sat down and thought, you know what, a bit bored of that, because we always tried to spin a song and make it kind of head turning when we were doing a cover. And so I said to him, I think we should write our own stuff. He said, all right, go on then, you start. So I did, literally. And that is literally how it began. You start, and then I'll join in if you come up with something.
So you guys, I mean, thanks to technology, you guys don't even live in the same town and you collaborate still.
Yeah, so we are the Dropbox duo. That's the other D&B, you see, it's Duffy and Bird and Dropbox. I'm going to give Dropbox a massive plug now. So what happens is this: I will pick up my guitar and I will crash down kind of chord sequences and usually lyrics and tunes, and then I put them in Dropbox in a file that is called the Birdie Selector. And then he can see, you know, you get on your computer, you log on in the morning and it says Trisha Duffy added a file, Trisha Duffy added a file. So he can go and log on anytime and listen to whatever nonsense or rubbish I put in there. Some of it's really good, and some of it is kind of like, do you know what, I think just leave that one alone. And then likewise, he'll do the same thing. So I get that, you know, Albert added a file, and I'll click on it, and it'll be 15 minutes of random guitar riffs. And I kind of go, I'll text him, go, I've just heard that 15-minute file you put on. What am I supposed to make of that? He'll say, I don't know yet. I haven't decided. But yeah, so I normally come up with the lyrics and the tune and the melody. Sometimes I've got a little bit of an idea of how the hooks might develop, but normally that's his department. I'll send him just a basic kind of chord structure, usually very, very, very unsophisticated, because I'm quite an unsophisticated musician. My voice is my instrument for sure. And then he will listen to it and he'll start messing around and develop it in his own time. And then when we do get together, we can kind of crash it together and see what works and sort of develop it from there. Usually that's how it works. Occasionally we've written completely, I maybe just had lyrics and we've written the tune together from scratch. Entitled Child actually is a good example of that, where I had the lyrics all written but no tune at all. And so he sat next to me and said, right, I think it has this kind of slightly more ska beat, this kind of different kind of feel to some of the other songs because of the message that it's got. Mm-hmm. And so he really kind of laid that out, and then I was just, singing melodies over the top until we came up with something that worked.
Why it works. All of your songs work. I love your songs, and I get asked all the time when I play them on Allie's Amplified Attic, who is that? Where are they from? And I try really hard. Like, I always pull up your bio and I tell people who you are and where you're from. And I wasn't going to do radio, and now that I'm doing it and I get to play all of you guys on it, it makes me so happy. And I love your songs. Now, you wrote nearly 50 songs in 2017.
Yeah.
And 11 were picked for your debut album, 5 Lines, yep, which was released in November of 2017, right?
Yep.
And it's doing, have you done another EP since then, or that's just the one that you have right now?
That's just the one that we have right now, but we've got pretty much the album written, I think, the next batch, or at least, the majority of them. And the thing is that with these processes, when we did the last album, I thought we had the batch sorted, and then I was writing stuff right towards the end, which you kind of go, right, bin that one and put this instead because it's so much stronger. Mm-hmm. So one of the last songs, in fact, I think the last song that we wrote was Evelyn, which I know you've got potentially to play, which is, just came to me through a short story that I'd read by James Joyce, and I decided to write about it. And it was so strong so quickly that Al said, forget what we were going to use, this is the song, this is the one. So we're constantly refining. I mean, I would really, really, really love it if we could do another album, maybe the first quarter of next year. That's kind of the thought, but it does depend on whether we can claw a little bit of cash back from the first one and then kind of make the square the circle of trying to do another one.
Yeah, that always helps. That always helps.
Yeah.
Now, tell me, okay, so you guys, I've talked to so many bands that collaborate the way you guys do, where one person lives in one town and the other, or even country, and they collaborate thanks to technology. I would love to hear new songs, because I have your songs that we're going to be playing, plus I play them and I love them. I'm going to keep telling you that your voice, Trisha, is just beautiful. Your vocals are amazing, and I say that I think every time I play your songs.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Now, because you're doing things the way you're doing things, and because you've both been in cover bands and have done different things, if you had any advice to give somebody based on what you've gone through so far, what do you think you would tell them? Like another artist?
So I think a lot about what it means to be an artist and the difference between being an artist and being a commodity. And although being an artist is not a get-rich scheme at all, I feel really, really strongly that you need to stay true to the music that you want to make. And I'm really, really proud that Al and I have not sold out on that. We wanted it to be a duo for a couple of reasons. Because one, it's more practical to get 2 people. I mean, you should try the rehearsals for the covers band. There's 5 of us. It's like you practically need, we need a manager just to get us in the same room together to rehearse for our gigs, which are proper paid gigs, and we need, it's impossible to get us in a room together. But there's 2 of you. It's more achievable. We do get on really well. We're brilliant friends, and would have been really easy just to go, do you know what, let's bring in some session musicians, let's bring in some others to help us. But we wanted to make what we wanted to make, and we felt that we could produce a really full sound that would be multi-layered and interesting with just guitar and voice. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't rule out that we might add a key or some keys or something in a future EP, but for just right now, I mean, prefers to write using the piano, using the guitar. I do use the piano a little bit, but I prefer to write using the guitar, and I like that Americana swing that we've got going on. In fact, I'd like to bring more of that in as well. So I think, yeah, my overall message is write the song you want to write. Don't sell out. It makes me cringe what happens when people get commoditized, especially really young, talented people, and they get signed and kind of forced into that kind of mainstream box. And I suppose if you want to make a living, that is a choice that you might want to make. But for us, I would rather make my living in a day job and make the music I want to make. That is really, really important to me. And I'm really proud that we've not given up on that ever.
I love that you said that, because I say that all the time. I always talk about when I'm listening to mainstream radio, I can never tell one artist from the other, which is why I love doing this, because I always get to hear original songs. And I'm glad there's so many of you that aren't selling out, that are keeping themselves indie, because you have creative freedom and you're not pushed into a box. And I love that. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Don't ever sell out, because I love what you guys do. Now, what two songs are we going to hear from you today?
You are going to hear Entitled Child, which I mentioned earlier, and also Evelyn, which I also mentioned earlier. They're two massively different songs in terms of, our album, I think, it's an acoustic duo with guitars and voices, that's all it is, but every single song is really, really quite different, I like to think. And these two really exemplify, I think, the ends of the scale of the difference. So you've got Entitled Child with its kind of driving ska beat, a lot more produced, greater effects on it in terms of the vocal effects and the layering and what have you, lots of small guitar parts. And then Evelyn, which is completely stripped back, and it's really just my vocal in a very, very straight form, barely anything done to it at all, with just one layer of guitar, which just tells a really quite sad story. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So they're very different, and will give hopefully a little bit of the idea of the kind of breadth of our genre confusion.
Yes, no, I love that it's different. I love it when artists do send me songs that show their variety, like, one's this way, one's that way. Okay, so now let's talk about how people can find you. They can find you on Twitter, Duffy and Bird, Facebook, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, Spotify, Amazon, Google Play. Good Lord, iTunes. You're everywhere, which is most indie artists are.
Boxes when we did that release thing.
Well, and it's good to be everywhere. You want to catch as many listeners as you possibly can. So I will be putting this up later on today, and please get back to me. Let me know if you do get an EP going, or if you have any new songs. You can always come back and share your good news, and if anything huge happens, you start winning awards and all kinds of stuff, please come back and, give me shout outs when you go to accepting. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I'm so glad that we finally got to do this. I've been looking forward to it, and I'm serious. I love your music, and I'm so glad I get to play it, not just today on my website, but also on Allie's Amplified Attic. And keep in touch.
Pleasure for us as well, because we absolutely love our conversations with you and everything. All your energy.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. I try.
I so lovely your face right now. It's gorgeous.
Oh my God. Thank you. You're gorgeous as well. Okay. We're gonna sit here and just okay, enough. Anyways, thank you so much. Trisha, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come on the show. Tell Al I say hello. And keep making amazing music, and keep sending it to me, please. And yeah, anytime something new happens, you know how to reach me.
I do. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thank you for joining me on Allie's Attic Show. Keep checking my website, because you never know what kind of surprise you're going to find in my attic. Cheers.